Hello, on the 3rd of January 2024, this 26-year-old Kenyan socialite by name Starlet Wahoo was found dead in an Airbnb after she went on a date in that Airbnb with this man by name John Matara. She was later on discovered in the pool of her own blood by the receptionist of the Airbnb, with her thigh slashed with a kitchen knife, which led to blood oozing out profoundly. This all happened in South B, Nairobi, Kenya. Now guys, stay with me as I unveil how the Kenyan socialite Starlet Wahoo met John Matara and what really transpired in the Airbnb when both of them went on their sexual date. Now guys, without further ado, let us get into this crime story. If you're new here, please subscribe, like, comment and share. Please subscribe so that we can get up to 1,000 subscriptions, and do not forget to like. By that, this video can go viral. And also do not forget to share with your family members and friends to create awareness about this true crime story. Now guys, without further ado, let us get into this true crime story. Starlet Wahoo is a Kenyan socialite who was popularly known for beauty and fashion on her different social media platforms. And also she was a sister of a controversial Nairobi pastor. The fact that she was a socialite and also popular in the social media platforms that gave her access to a pool of men all over Kenya and all around the world. It was said that her date on the 3rd of January 2024 in that Airbnb, Mr. John Matara met her on Instagram. He saw how beautiful she looked and DM'd her and asked her for a relationship. She later on accepted, and they all decided to go to this Airbnb in South B, Nairobi, Kenya to have sexual relations. Starlet Wahoo didn't bother to know the background of Mr. John Matara. According to what the news report is saying about John Matara, after police investigation, it is said that he is a serial offender and also he is a serial thief who goes on these dating sites or social media platforms, DM young female Kenyan socialites and ask them for a relationship, then meet up with them in an Airbnb where he will forcefully put a kitchen knife on their chest, ask them to give their bank statements and also their mobile money statement, or M-Pesa as it is known in Kenya, so that he can withdraw all their cash and then leave them there either dead or alive. So Starlet Wahoo didn't know that John Matara was that kind of person. If she had been told by a friend or by someone or by a prophet of God that this guy whom you're supposed to go on a date with on the 3rd of January in an Airbnb will be the guy who will kill you, she wouldn't have believed it. Wednesday the 3rd of January came, Starlet Wahoo and John Matara were at the Airbnb reception. And this is a picture of them, being cozy to each other, nice and sweet, while they go to their Airbnb to have sexual relations. When they both entered the Airbnb room, it is unclear what really transpired. All we know is that John Matara was seen coming out of the elevator at the Airbnb. According to eyewitnesses, there was a pungent smell coming out of his body and there was blood all over his shoes, which caused these people, as you can see, they looked at him shockingly. And they immediately tell the receptionist at the Airbnb, who later on used the spare key to open the door of the Airbnb. Then they found Starlet Wahoo in the pool of her own blood, dead, with her thighs slashed and wounds on her face. It seems as if there had been a struggle between Starlet Wahoo and the guy. They also found a used condom, 2 HIV test kits, and also a kitchen knife, which John Matara used to slash the thighs of Starlet Wahoo, which later on caused her to die. The receptionist at the Airbnb immediately called the Kenyan police, who came over, carried out their investigation and started looking for Mr. John Matara. Now, on the 7th of January 2020, Mr. John Matara was arrested at one of the government hospitals while he was taking in treatment on the wounds which he had on his body. It seems as if Starlet Wahoo didn't just let him kill her. She fought back brutally. Mr. John Matara had wounds all over his body, according to the news report. And he was immediately arrested and charged in court. When he was charged in court, as the news make headlines throughout Kenya, other Kenyan women who had encountered this guy, this serial offender and a serial thief, also came forward and gave their testimony that he had, stolen from them, pretending that he was in a relationship with them. When they went over to a hotel or an Airbnb, he would steal from them, force them to take, their bank statement, force them to take, their mobile money or M-Pesa statement so that he can withdraw money out of their account to steal from them, then rape them brutally, then leave. So this explains why, Starlet Wahoo was killed, meaning this guy came over pretending to be in a relationship with Starlet Wahoo so that they can go have sex. His intention was to steal from her because he had looked at her social media platforms. He had seen that this girl is a very wealthy woman and she can have a certain amount of money. And if I can convince her that I want a relationship with her. We go to an Airbnb. I can then, use this knife to threaten her to give me her bank statement, and her M-Pesa statement so that I can withdraw all the money in her bank account after having sex with her. Then I can quickly leave and run away. So guys, what do you all think about this true crime story? I would like to get your thoughts down at the comment section. Now, this is crazy. I just want to blame Starlet Wahoo. May her soul rest in peace. My thoughts are with her family members. May her soul rest in peace. Now, I want to blame her. She's the cause of her own death. She is the cause of her own death. You don't just move around, you meet people on social media. The next day, you guys go on a date. That same day, you guys are going to an Airbnb to have sex. It's crazy. Why? What happens with women having, principles to guard and guide their lives so that they don't make mistakes? If this girl had principles, she wouldn't have slept with this man on the first date. She would have just quickly left and go back home. And that would have helped save her life. That would have helped save her life. And two, this guy met her online, asked her for a relationship. She accepted. She didn't even bother to carry out an investigation on this guy on social media, on the different social media platforms, by typing this guy's name on Instagram or Facebook, on the search button to really get, the personality of this guy. Who is this guy? Her background, to see her family members. Maybe she would have picked up something which, would have sent her a signal of this guy being a bad person, not a good person. So she is a cause of her own death. Now, I saying that she's a cause of her own death does not negate the fact that, I stand against serial thieves and serial killers. I believe this guy should be given the death penalty because Starlet isn't his first victim. There are other victims who have come forward and expressed how he treated them, how he stole from them, got them well beating and stole from them. So what do you all think? Do you think this guy should be given life imprisonment or this guy should be given the death penalty?